another day of, well, I'm saying another day, but the first day to casting Alchemy League Season 7. So, as you might have guessed by that, we are done with casting games from Season 6, which is over, and we're now going to be moving on Season 7. I know there are some games from Season 6 which were not covered, neither by me nor Tex Harriet, but we try to do our best with just 2 people casting the whole event. So, let's take a look at the 2 sets we have for today. Of course, I forgot to set this one up. There we go. Okay, so hello Lilosa. For today we have Jasouki versus Kordimon. And then we're going to have the Otter one against Flying Mouse. So, let's talk a bit about the players. And then, since it's the first cast of the season, we'll talk about a bit about the maps. So Jasouki, he is a 1200 player, pushing for 1300. He is from Spain. He has played in previous seasons of the tournament, and he also works as a map creator for the tournament. Kordimon, he is with the highest of 1200, currently sitting at 1k, but as you can see, it seems he hasn't played 1v1s in a while, so he might be, I would say, 1100. And he is from the Russian Federation. He has played in previous seasons of the tournament as well. So, first set we have today is with 2 people who are quote-unquote veterans of the tournament, if you will. So, let's get into the draft. Now, as you can see, we have a new group of maps. As you can see, the map for game 1 is Graveyard, which, by the way, was created by Jasouki, and this was chosen as the map for of the round. And then we have the usual 3 bans per player and the 1 left. Okay, actually, the 1 left is no, it's not randomized because we have 8 maps, yeah. Okay, so we have Seasons as the second map, which is an interesting one because the 2 players are separated by a river, as you can see by the minimap. But that river can be either frozen, thawed, there can be shallows. It really depends on the generation. So when you launch it, you don't really know what you're going to get, and thus you have to draft your saves accordingly. As for other maps, we have Prayer. Now, Prayer is a pretty barren map. There are very few resources, and starting is very, very hard to go up, especially to fuel. It's a very aggressive map, and it's pretty open. Again, there's pretty much nothing. We're not going to be seeing that, but eventually, once we're done with the 2 sets, we can take a look at the maps. Now, canals. It's called canals, but there's actually a single canal between the 2 players. There is some fish, there is some oysters that you can take because they're on the shoreline. And then there is a thick wood line all around the map, as you can see by the minimap. Kind of like arena. And resources-wise, there aren't few, but there aren't that many. Now, Paradise Islands is a hybrid map. You have water all around. You have an island in the middle where all the relics are. And you start with a transport ship in the little lake in the middle. But again, that transport ship is kind of the one we had in a previous season on Neptune. It regenerates, it can hold more than 200 units, and if it goes down, it just respawns. And that's useful because you cannot build a dock in the middle lake. So that's your only way to get to the relics. Now, another map is Team Glaciers. There's basically a huge river in the middle with 3 islands on it. These islands are connected to the mainlands by shallows. And you have some resources on those islands. And by some resources, I mean stone and gold. You still have stone and gold on your mainland, but you're going to get a lot of extra resources if you go to the middle ones. Another map is Shipwreck. As you can see, it has a mainland in the middle, and then you have some land on the sides and some water. Now that water is walkable, so you can just 1 second, sorry. Yeah, you can walk on that water, so you can send villagers outside. There's fish on that water, so people will probably go and dock that to get the fish, but we'll see. We'll see once we actually get a game on that one. But again, you start very close to your opponent, so I expect that it's going to be quite aggressive. Then we have moats, which is kind of like arena, but then you start with, well, more like fortress, but you have no castle. You basically have no wood in your base, and you have a double layer of walls, which are also surrounded by water. And then you have to go outside to expand and to get resources. So you're kind of safe, but at the same time, you cannot play too passive, otherwise your opponent will just serve you for resources. Okay, so that's a general idea of the maps. Let's take a look at the civs, because we've talked about this enough. As usual, in Alchemy League, we have five random bands. So in this case, it was Romans, Gorjaras, Vikings, Goths, and Huns. Each player gets 2 bands and 1 snipe. So as you can see, Jasouki, he banned Persians and Dravidians, and sniped Portuguese. As you can see from here, the snipe happens towards the end of the draft. And Jasouki was left with Saracens, Japanese, and Spanish, whereas Kordimon, after banning Byzantines and Cumans and sniping Lithuanians, was left with Malians, Burgundians, and Italians. Also, a side note about the draft. As you can see, we do not have the new civilizations in the Civ pool. So you will not see Khitans, Jurchens, Wushu, and Wei in this tournament. It was just decided that some of them were too broken to be admitted into the tournament, and so yeah, you're not going to be seeing them. This has happened before in the Alchemy League. It's not something new, right? When Georgians and Armenians came out, they were not allowed in that season, which I think was season 3. I might be mistaken. Also, at that time, Persians received a rework, and they were not allowed either. Whereas this time, Chinese and Koreans received some reworks, but they were allowed. So it's not something new for the league. All right. So that's it for the drafts. So let's jump straight away into the first game. Which is going to be on graveyards, as we said. And here it is. Just 1 sec, I have to... Oh, hey Otter. Oh, was it season 1 where we didn't have the new civs? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we have graveyards, which, as you can see, has some water in the middle. You have some fish. Again, depending on the generation, you might have deep fish or not. Sometimes not sometimes, when you have the snow generation, this is going to be frozen. So you still have shorefish and the oysters, but you do not have deep fish. So depending on how the map generates, water is going to be more or less important. Also, as you can see, we have some monkeys here, whereas on the frozen generation, you have penguins. 2 players, they start on opposite side of the lake. You have this, I guess they're... Okay, I do not know the proper term, so I'm not going to say anything. You have this southeastern Asian buildings, which I don't really know the names. I was about to say pagodas, but I don't think they're pagodas. And you have relics around them, right? Not only relics, you have some gold and stone. Yeah, there aren't many oysters. I wonder if they just forgot to turn on the what's it called, antiquity mod. Maybe that would have changed something. But anyway, speaking of the middle, you also have deers around the lake. So deers do not spawn close to your TC as they would on Arabia. If you actually want to push deer, you have to go outside towards your enemy to be able to push them. So you're kind of exposing your scout. At the same time, though, I mean, you pretty much want your scout to be in this area anyway to prevent your opponent from sniping your Vil or for sniping, or for you to snipe your opponent's Vil to begin with. So it's probably not the end of the world. 2 boars, or rather 1 boar and 1 elephant. As you can see, Jasouki has already taken the elephant. And yeah, aside from that, pretty standard resources around the player's map. 6 berries, 2 golds, which is 1 of 4 and 1 of 7 and 1 of 4. That's actually different from... No. It's like standard. It's like Arabia, what am I talking about? And then you have 5 stone and 4 stone. So pretty standard resources. As you can see, walling is not going to be too difficult because of the wood lines. That said, this map tends to spawn a lot of the new trees, which still don't work with the small trees mod, so it might be a little bit difficult to see in proper wall. And yeah, let's talk about civs, since Otter mentioned them. So we have Japanese from Jasouki, who... Does he have Loom? Okay, yeah, he has Loom. He's taking some downhill hits, but... I mean, he's got the scouts right there. Yeah, he's not going to lose the Vil, but this delays the dock, which was already late. Anyway, right? Yeah, as you can see, he has a lot of wood. And he's sending 2 Vils. Okay, I like this. There's a lot of shorefish. Just send 2 Vils. It's going to be nice for your food income. And then we have Kordimon in the blue, playing as the Burgundians. Which, granted, yes, it's a pick you wouldn't expect. But personally, I love Burgundians, so I can't say I dislike that. And let me check real quick the draft. I think, yeah, Persians were banned, Byzantines were banned. I mean, he had Malians and Italians as an alternative. But at the same time, you have a lot of, well, lots of relics. Is it that many? It's 7, normally it's 5. So Burgundians, they do like to get relics because they also give them food, and not only gold. So I could see that being a reasoning behind it. But maybe... So, this, you have to play some water on this. But water, let's say after feudal, it's you're not really going to be investing into that unless you get to to Imperial and you want, you know, a foothold in the middle of the map to get cannon galleons and attack. So I'm guessing Kordimon wants to save his better water civ in Italians and his better hybrid civ in Malians for the next map. But again, I don't know what the reasoning behind that is. I mean, on seasons, I would rather have Malians probably, because you don't know how much water there's going to be on it. So Italians, yes, they're amazing if you have a lot of water, but in any other situation, Malians are just better. So probably he's thinking, okay, I'm going Malians on the next map, and on here, do I want Italians or do I want Burgundians? Probably Burgundians because of the mobility of the cavalry, right? So maybe that was his reasoning. Now the thing is, how would Burgundians fare against Japanese, right? Because yes, with Burgundians you have cheaper. Oh yeah, now we have this with capture rate. So yeah, we have cheaper stable technologies, and you have Cavalier available in Castle Age. So, not to mention, you also have the economic upgrades available one age earlier. As you can see, he already has the upgrade from Castle Age despite being in feudal, and they cost less food. So, as far as economy is concerned, Burgundians are just amazing. So, maybe, yeah, he is. Actually, they're both close to clicking to Castle Age. But if Kordimon can get to castle behind this, develop some eco, right? So he just used the... Oh, never mind. He queued some villagers. And he's winning water. Okay, so if he can get to castle on the back of the water, his eco is going to be better, right? And the Japanese, they have faster working fishing ships, but, I mean, there's what? 250 food left in this pond. Ooh, Kordimon. I don't know if that was on purpose, but he was blocking the fire with the fishing ship. But yeah, after the water runs out, then Burgundians should have the better eco. And Japanese, they... Okay, sure, they have amazing infantry, which could take care of the Burgundian cavalry. But then again, Burgundians... If it gets to Imperial, their gunpowder is amazing, right? So that plus 25% applies not only to the base attack of the gunpowder unit, but it also applies to the bonus damage. And what that means is that hand cannoneers, they have 17 base damage, right? And you get 25% of that, which is... what, I think it's 3, maybe 4. Because it should be around 3.5, 3.4, something like that, but the game counts as 4. And then when you hit infantry, you have 10 bonus damage against infantry, which becomes 12.5 because of the bonus. So yeah, they do shred infantry more than common hand cannon normally do. That is if Kordimon eventually goes for... Sorry, that is if the Japanese eventually go for the infantry, but then if the Japanese opt for the CA, which they can easily do, then Burgundians, they do have easier access to Paladin. Granted, it's Paladin without bloodlines, so especially against ranged units, it's not going to be as good. But it's still Paladin, right? So, we'll see. So I was saying that Kordimon was close to castle, but he's actually investing a lot into feudal. Food-wise, he's got a lot of wood. I would like to see horse collar, and I would like to see him get horse collar and drop something like 10 farms, maybe even more, or at least get a market. Yeah, there we go. Horse collar. Now you can drop the farms, because a farm gets built faster than horse collar can. Sorry, horse collar researches faster than a farm is built. That's not true for heavy plow. That's definitely something that I'm not mad about. And Kordimon, he's still fighting for water. And he should, right? You still have your docks. Your opponent is still investing. Actually, Jasouki is quite close to Castle Age. Okay, so Kordimon got horse collar and then didn't drop a single farm. He could get heavy plow if he wanted to. That's 125 wood and food, but for the Burgundians it becomes 33% cheaper on the food, so it's what? 40 less food, something like that. I think I missed the demo. Because I know Jasouki was ahead in fires. Actually, let's go back a second. Oh, okay, so he used the... Okay, yeah, there's the demo. Maybe not? No, because... Okay, Kordimon was using the docks as a shield. And now he's just going to demo the units. Oh, he goes for the fishing ships. Now, these are Japanese fishing ships. So any other fishing ship would have gone down at full health, but these don't. One was weak from the fires. Yeah, and now Kordimon cleans everything. He is now getting heavy plow. No, don't do this. So I guess about 3 farms will be built before heavy plow comes in. Ah, maybe not, because the villagers have to walk. Okay, just 1. Okay, that's okay, that's fine. But yeah, now these farms, they will never go out. Now the issue is we have Jasouki up to castle. Jasouki, he's up to castle. He has a lot of wood. He's got a lot of vills on gold. So if he wanted to, you get to, I would say, 10 farms. He's getting bloodlines. Yeah, and here we are. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was about. That's what I was about to say. You get to 10 farms, so you have constant food income. And you just drop 3 ranges. I would like to see a 3rd range. And once you get to castle, you just spam cavalry archers. Because now Kordimon is quite open. He is playing quite open. And he is nowhere close to castle age. Now the good news is... Oh, barracks as well. And Kordimon knows nothing about those, right? Yeah, he knows nothing. So, the good news for Kordimon is that Japanese CA, they're amazing if they're fighting archers, right? Otherwise, they're standard CA. So he's not going to be facing, I don't know, the Han spam, the Magyar spam, or what else is there? The Vietnamese with extra HP. But it's still CA, right? And Kordimon clicked now Castle Age, which is going to come in after Wheelbarrow. And he is not walling at all. And CA, they could just sit here and here and basically deny all resources for Kordimon. Okay, he's now going for stone walls. That's nice, but I think they're going to be coming up too late because he sent a single villager. He should have sent 3 to this side. And if it does that, maybe that wall comes up in time. This... In short, there's no hole here, but there's a hole here. So we'll see, we'll see. Yeah, here's the first CA. That's what I meant. You needed more villagers. And Kordimon, no barracks. He does have a blacksmith, so... Yeah, there's the barracks. He's dropping it. He won't water, though. Oh, okay, this is nice. He is going to have gold access from the oysters. And I believe they cannot be ranged by the CA. Maybe from here they can range it, but then there's the fires. So being pushed off this gold is not the end of the world. But you can see he is panicking a bit, because he went for the barracks, but then he couldn't decide whether to go double stable or double archer range. Personally, I would say you do not have much wood access. So maybe go single stable, and once you get to Castle Age, you drop a siege workshop. And you go on knights and scorpions to try and take care of this. But no, he's opting for the skirmishers, but then He's not going to have the wood for the skirms. He's not going to have the wood for elite skirmisher. And he's just now getting the first armor. Kordimon is in trouble and he is still open here. I mean, he's open here and the CA can just sit on this, right? And because he spent the stone for the walls, he's not going to be able to drop a tower to secure his resources or seas. He doesn't have market, so he cannot buy stuff. But he still has the middle. There's 800 gold in the middle, so that's something, I guess. And Jasouki is running underneath the TC with the units. No armor on those knights from Jasouki. They do have blood knights, which is something that Kordimon does not have. He is getting Cavalier, but that's from his single stable. So yes, you're getting Cavalier, but you're not producing units. So you're upgrading 3 knights. And at home, Jasouki, yeah, triple TC. He should have a hard time keeping them producing because of just 10 farms. But at this moment, he only needs to be messing CA, right? You keep the pressure on your opponent. And then if you have some idle TC behind that, who cares, right? Because you're idling 3 TC, well, maybe probably 1 TC out of 3. Your opponent is idling 1 TC. Well, not idling the TC, he's idling the eco. So in the long run, he's not going to have any resources. Jasouki also getting the relics. Kordimon, sure, he got Cavalier with all of the armor, so at this point, these Cavaliers have the same stats as a fully upgraded knight in Castle Age. He could go beyond that and get the attack, so he'll have 2 more attack than a fully upgraded knight in Castle Age. The problem is, he doesn't have the resources to keep up production and get the technologies. Does he have... No, he didn't get husbandry, so catching up with these CA is going to be a pain. And the gold is going to run out in the middle, yeah. Only 400 left. He does go back to this. Okay, he's got a siege workshop. Scorpions are going to be useful. But I think there are too many CA for 1 scorpion to take care of that. You need more than 1. Okay, the second is coming in, and Kordimon, he's mostly having wood issues, right? Okay, nice shot. Jasouki. Oh yeah, Jasouki was distracted, so loses a single CA. His eco is now looking quite good. These TCs should be able to keep producing. He should not get any more idle TC than this. Well, as I say that, it is... Oh, maybe he's idling to go up to him. I just saw him spend like 300 food. Not sure for what. Maybe he sold it. Not really. Oh, okay. That's what the food was for. Thumbring. Okay, Kordimon finally manages to get the walls down. Well, the walls up, sorry. He is going to wall this. And so he should be safe. Now the problem is Jasouki has done enough damage, right? He got himself a nice eco lead, well, almost double the villagers. He's getting the relics. And quick reminder that Alchemy League is played on standard victory, so getting all the relics will start the countdown. Luckily for Kordimon, one of the relics is in the back of his base, and he is stonewalled. So Jasouki is not going to be able to go for that for the time being. He would have to find a way to break into the walls and get his monk up there. So maybe a petard on this, but he doesn't have a castle and his siege workshop is over here. But he's going up to imp. Manages to kill the scorpions. Second TC now for the Burgundians. Ooh, and Jasouki, I just noticed, no horse collar. 27 farms, no horse collar. I mean, yeah, at this point, it's still a mistake, but who cares, right? You got the whole map to yourself. You're up to imp. You will have... Oh, he's going for a militia switch. Yeah, I'm not sure you can sustain that with this full eco. You would need at least 50 farmers. Maybe with handcart to sustain that. So staying on CA for the moment is the best option. And he's got the stone for a castle, so he could go for a forward castle here with the CA, and then you use that as a position to make traps and trap down your opponent. Yeah, I think his reasoning for going infantry is that it's easy to take down buildings with infantry, whereas with CA you don't really do that. Also, Japanese, they have amazing infantry, so maybe that's his idea. Maybe he's thinking, okay, I'm going imp, I have a decent eco, let's get into my civ's strength. But yeah, staying on CA was probably the call here. Maybe once you get to 140 bills, you can start thinking about infantry. But at this point, it doesn't really make that much sense. Still, Jasouki takes the first game. Very strong play from him, which was kind of expected because he made this map. I like how Kordimon in the end still won the water, but he was too late to castle. And again, as Burgundians, it's not that much of an issue because you have amazing eco. So being later to castle can still work out if you're walled. You cannot be that late to castle and play open, right? So yeah, I think that was Kordimon's biggest mistake. Because if these walls, or even house walls, are up before Jasouki gets to Castle Age, then I think Kordimon is fine. Sure, Jasouki can come forward, drop the siege workshop and start pressuring with that. But then Kordimon can probably get to Castle without having CA in his base, right? Because he clicked Castle Age basically when Jasouki hit it. So you still have those 2 minutes that it's going to take you to get to Castle Age. Your opponent has to come forward, drop the siege, drop the siege workshop, make the siege, start pressuring. I think you still have time. By the time he breaks through, you probably have your second TC up here on the gold, and you have a couple of stables, and you take it from there. But yeah, overall, very strong play from Jasouki. I'm surprised neither player went for any kind of feudal play. Right, they just fought for the water and went for land army later on in Castle Age. Anyways, let's take a look. Yeah, more has collected for Jasouki. Well, he was not being idled. Yeah, more vills. Yeah, more of everything from Jasouki. Okay. Then let's load up the second game, which is going to be on seasons. And we'll see what kind of generation we get. Okay, and here we are. And we got a snow generation with a single passage between the players. And we have Malians from Kordimon and Saracens from Jasouki. Okay. So in this generation, there is worth in going for the water, right? Because of the fish. So I guess we're going to be seeing some water play. And overall, Malians are supposed to be the better hybrid civ. Saracens, they can have a strong water play. They have amazing galleys. Now the problem is making galleys work on this map, right? So I believe you cannot sail through this. So if you dock here and your opponent docks here, you have safe fish. Now with Saracens, if you want to use the galleys, you have to dock far away from your opponent. So let's say Kordimon ends up docking here, which is plausible because he's close to the TC. If you want to make the galleys work, you need to have space to micro backwards. So you would have to dock here or here. If you dock like here, you have to go fires, right? But we'll see. I'm expecting both players to just wall this up and play it out on water, and then later on try and do something. At the same time, though, Jasouki picked the Saracens, right? And as I said, I think you cannot sail through this. So if Kordimon docks, well, let's say he docks here, right? Jasouki could easily go this way, right, with archers, and being Saracens, he's going to break through those walls quite quickly. So land pressure could work out for the Saracens. Sure, you're going to be missing out on the food eco of the fish, but you're Saracens, so just go for market abuse to go up to castle and play it all in. And I think it could work out. Hey Tech, welcome. But we'll see what they do. Okay, Kordimon just now scouted the water. So he gets the confirmation that you do have fish. He's going to dock. So he just got the confirmation that this is not the generation where you have ice on the whole. It's not the generation where the river is fully frozen. Jasouki is going to see that now. And we should see a dock coming up from Jasouki as well. Unless he is going for land pressure. Ooh, that was close. Almost lost the Ville. No loom, right? Yeah, no loom. Okay, first ship should be coming out right now. Yeah, for Kordimon. It is a little unfortunate that he went this early for the mill, but at the same time, you're Malians. You're paying this. I mean, you're paying every single building except for farms, less wood, so you can kind of make it work to go for a mill and a dock. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world compared to other civs. And Jasouki, he's completely ignoring the water. Maybe he figured I'm a little too far away and I noticed too late. Actually, Jasouki seems to be farther away from the water than his opponent. Not by much. Not by much, but he does seem to be farther away. Also, she's got this nasty hill in front of his base, which might spell trouble later on. Oh, he didn't push the deer. Yeah, Kordimon is pushing the deer now. And getting the boar. 2 boars still. And Jasouki is up. And by the looks of it, I think it is going to be archers. So he is going to go aggressive, okay. I mean, aggressive on land. Now, good news for Kordimon is that he doesn't have that many resources forward, right? I mean, this gold could easily get denied by the archers if they go this way. And he will have to go for this one eventually. The thing is, he's not walling up at all. So, similar mistake to what he did in the previous game. Do we have a barracks for Jasouki yet? No, and he's making farms. Okay. So farms, no barracks, no second lumber camp. He went up with 22 vills. This is not a fast castle build, right? With the market abuse. I mean, the amount of vills is the right one. I mean, you could even do 20 plus 2 for a fast castle with Saracens if you're going to abuse the market, but yeah, this is not a fast castle. Is it? Huh. Kordimon is now going to be walling. He is going to be able to because Jasouki's scout is weak. Ooh, takes the hill. Kordimon might not notice. Okay, he notices. I swear, the new attack animation makes it so weird to do this kind of stuff. Still gets the scout kill, but I mean, it started out with Jasouki's scout at half HP, Kordimon at full HP, and he's left with 9 instead of 20. Now making a galley to make sure his opponent is not going to be docking, and... Oh, okay, you can sail on this, okay. So you can get to the other side, okay, sure. Alright. But you can wall on this. So if you do a couple of palisades here, you can actually block it off. Okay, so you can sail on the lighter one, but you cannot sail on the darker one. Okay, I thought it was the other way around. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and Jasouki, he made it happen. He went fast castle. Sold wood, sold stone. Yeah, he sold not all of the stone. Okay, so this is going to be a fast castle into what though? Monk siege from the Saracens. I mean, they can pull it off. And you have 3 relics here available, so... And 1 at back of your base. So if you go for a siege workshop and a monastery here, this could be a nice push, actually. Doesn't have the resources at the moment. Yeah, he needs way more wood than that. And more people on gold. But what this is doing is giving Kordimon time to make that water control give him an edge. And as you can see, he's ahead by 400 rests collected. Stable. So it's FC Knights, right? Does Kordimon know about the stable? Yeah, he saw that. Which sucks. FC Camels. Huh. Yeah, but Jasouki knows his opponent is walled. So I don't know. And Kordimon is up to castle. With a superior eco, he's going to be able to drop... Oh, he's going for a prevented tower here. Not a fan of that. Because he had enough stone for 2 TCs. As soon as he got to Castle Age, now he doesn't have the stone for a single one. I mean, sure, he could just buy it, right? Oh, so ships are not supposed to be able to go from one side of the other to the other. Okay. Yeah, I guess that was the intention, but who coded the map had my same conviction, as in you're not supposed to be able to sail on the light ice, and you're supposed to be able to sail on the darker one. I mean, it's not the end of the world, right? Because these walls prevent ships from sailing. And if Jasouki had dropped a single stone wall here, he would have blocked that. So Kordimon makes it to Castle Age. He is still making galleys, which is kind of a waste of resources at the moment. And Jasouki is just booming behind this. So he made a couple of camels, realized his opponent was fully walled. And so thought, okay, let's go for extra TCs. So as long as Kordimon doesn't drop extra TCs himself, Jasouki is going to be ahead in builds. We have a monastery for Kordimon. So either he's the one thinking about going aggressive with the monks and siege, or he's scared of what might come from Jasouki. Yeah, or maybe she's just going to open the wall and get these rallies, right? I mean, he's got the middle control thanks to the navy. Oh, camels do have bonus damage against ships. And these are Saracen camels. So they have extra HP. As you can see, no bloodlines in, but they do have more HP than a standard camel with bloodlines. Okay, yeah, he's just going for the relics. Even going for War Galley. I don't like that. I mean, sure, he's afraid his opponent might be coming to water, but you have the navy and dock numbers advantage. So just patrol this, and the moment you see your opponent going for a dock, then yeah, you get War Galley and maybe go extra docks and make more galleys. But for the time being, it's kind of a waste. Especially when you're still missing 2 seconds farming upgrade. Now Jasouki's eco is now looking pretty good. He is ahead in builds. Kordimon is still ahead in eco, but that's because of the ships. He's now dropping the 3rd TC, so he should be able to increase that eco gap even more. And he still has quite some fish to work with. I guess this veil will just redock around here. Or here. Do Malians get Elite Cannon Galleon? They don't. Saracens do, right? Yeah, they do. Rewalling, and those were 3 free relics for Kordimon going to get the fort. And honestly, okay, does he know about the position of the other relic? Okay, so he knows about this one. So in this situation, what you do is you try and be being cheeky. You make a transport ship. You put the monk in it. Or rather, no, don't go for the transport ship. Just delete the wall, what I'm talking about. Delete the wall and just go around and try to grab the relic. It is not going to be feasible now because of the castle. So yeah, now you drop the transport ship and you go... you can't even go this way because the castle is going to range it. Okay, never mind. Don't make the transport ship. Well, actually... Okay, hear me out. You make the transport ship. You delete the palisades, so you free this to sail around. You sail around here with the transport. You drop the monk here. You go around, you grab the relic, you go back. And you go home. Make another dock, I guess. Okay, Kordimon dropping the farms in an H shape. It's not the first time I see this. It is pleasing to the eyes, I will say that. Hera fanboy, yeah. Yeah, most likely. And Kordimon, yeah, he's dropping university because he has resources to go up to Imp. And he's about to. Yeah, there it is. Jasouki. He kind of caught up in eco. I would say now he's got a better looking setup. I mean, they're still working away, so not really. But he's got 10 bills in queue, so he's going to be quite late to Imperial. Even if he starts abusing the market right now. Yeah, I guess Kordimon will get to Imperial, and then we'll see Jasouki just panic and use the market to get up himself. Castle here from Alliance. And I have to say, this game played out in a way different way than I expected. Because what I expected from this map was people just fighting over the water, maybe someone go for land units to cross this and just be aggressive. But no, I mean, Kordimon just went for water, Jasouki ignored it, went for a fast castle into a boom. And, I mean, we have 2 kills from Kordimon. And 1 from Jasouki. And I think it was just the camels who went here. And the scout. Okay, imp from Kordimon. Market abuse? Yeah. I mean, he didn't have to abuse that much. He just needed some gold. And imp is behind some vills. Ooh, too many vills in queue. Delete that, delete that. I know it's 50%, just delete it. Okay, and we're up to imp. Kordimon though already getting chemistry. Malians also get that faster because of the team bonus, which makes the universities go work faster, 80% faster. Yep, as you can see here. Okay, and he is getting Cannon Galleon. So Kordimon is going to be able to bombard his opponent's coastline. He should not be able to deny this gold. He will deny these woodlines eventually. But I mean, Jasouki still has these, right? When Jasouki was opting for Mamelukes. So Mamelukes are an amazing unit. But here we have two problems. So the first one is you're losing your castles because you built them forward. I mean, this one was the first, so it's understandable, but this one just went up. Maybe shouldn't have been there. And the second issue is that Mamelukes, they do not deal bonus damage to camels, but they take bonus damage from camels. And what do Malians have, which is amazing? Farimba camels. And yeah, Jasouki is now opting for Hazard, but we have heavy camel for Kordimon coming in. And yeah, now the camels can just start pouring out. Still not covering that. Okay, there it is. Coming in. And yeah, they just murdered the Mamelukes. Yeah, I think from this position, Jasouki doesn't have that many options left. He could go for heavy camel himself. Problem is, I think the Saracen heavy camel still loses to the Farimba one. I mean, if it was a heavy camel with Bimaristan monks behind, then yeah, I think he wins in that case. But in this situation, yeah, traps running forward. I think we're looking at a 1-1 tie between Kordimon and Jasouki. Castle, yeah, it will complete conscription. Ooh, forward castle. Okay, I think the moment Kordimon starts building this, Jasouki calls the GG. If he doesn't call it earlier. Yeah, we also have Duetos coming forward because they are a good answer to the camels, right? So your own camels should do the job. And Jasouki, yeah, he saw the vills and he calls the GG. So Kordimon takes revenge for game 1 and wins this. And that was again, it was a weird game. Didn't play out the way I expected it, but it was nice. And I think this showed us the power of water eco, right? Because these fishing ships are still working away. They're technically still kind of efficient. And yeah, Kordimon had 7k more resources collected. If we go to stats, I wouldn't be surprised if those were mostly food. Oh! Actually, no, okay. I mean, sure, he has more gold because of the Malian bonus, but yeah, I was expecting more food, but actually Jasouki, with the farming eco, got more, okay. How many farms did he have now? 55. Yeah, I mean, Kordimon didn't really switch to farms enough. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right. Tech, as much as I agree that having this unsaleable would make the map better, because otherwise water is too dominant. I don't think Jasouki could make an argument that he lost the game because of the situation with the map, right? I would say he lost the game because he completely ignored water to begin with. So yeah, I do agree that having this unsaleable probably makes the map a little bit better. We might see more land play. But yeah, I don't think Jasouki lost because of that. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to the next game. Sorry, to the next set, not the next game. Okay, let's go back to the drafting table. We're done with this, and now we have our second set of the day, which is going to be Otter, the Otter one, against Flying Mouse. Now, the Otter one, he is a 1600/1700 player from Germany. He has been in mostly every season of the tournament except for season 2. So he is a true veteran of the tournament, and he is going to be playing against Flying Mouse, which is another player from Germany, slightly lower in elo, though I suppose it doesn't qualify. He doesn't qualify for a handicap in this situation. Again, Flying Mouse, another player from Germany. As you can see, he is around 1600. Actually, just 1 point away from that 1600s, but he'll get there, and he has played in previous seasons of the tournament. I think he's been with us since the Alaska-themed season, which I believe was season 4. I might be mistaken, though. But yeah, he's been with us for a while now. So not as much as a veteran, not as much of a veteran as Otter, but he is a veteran himself. Now, looking at the draft, game 1 is going once again to be Graveyards, because this was played in round 1. And as for our second map, we're going to have modes. As for civs, we have the usual 5 bands: Spanish, Incas, Mongols, Romans, and Bengalis. And I think all of these are pretty strong bands, especially Spanish. and Bengalis when you have a map like most in the map pool. Mongols can be scary on pretty much every map. Romans as well, if you try to do weird stuff. Incas, maybe not as solid as other civs on these two maps, but they're still a strong civ, so... Alright. As for bans, we have Sicilians and Berbers from Otter, who also went on to snipe Malay. And Flying Mouse banned Chinese, Persians, and sniped Portuguese. So as we can see, Otter was left with Byzantines, Georgians, and Bohemians. And Flying Mouse was left with Cumans, Hindustanis, and Japanese. And I'm guessing we're going to be seeing Byzantines, Japanese for game 1, and then we'll see Bohemians, probably Cumans, game 2. We'll see. I'm still on the fence about how good Cumans could be on modes, because yes, it's an arena style map, so you should be able to get away with the second TC, but again, where do you drop your second TC? Because if I think you have to drop it outside your walls, but if you do, then it's easy picking for your opponent's pressure, so I'm still not too convinced, but we'll see. We'll see if he even plays that. Maybe he's going Hindustanis in game 2. But we'll see. We'll see. Actually, Georgians could be good for game 2 as well, because you have chickens of 30 boats, but well, again, we'll see. Let me just load up the game and we'll actually see what they have in mind. Okay. Game is loaded. Let's get it on capture age. And here we are. So, yeah, as expected, it's Byzantines from Otter and Japanese from Flying Mouse. And again, we have a springy / summery generation with no ice. We have more oysters in the middle than we had previously. We had a single cluster of them in the previous game, whereas here we have 2. Otter already going for the elephant. And Jasouki... Yeah, sorry, not Jasouki. I'm still in the previous set, mentally. Flying Mouse going for the lumber camp. So 5 on food for Jasouki, for Flying Mouse. 6 for Otter. There is a rotting buffalo underneath his TC. But that should not matter too much if he manages to get control of the middle and get all of that extra food. So let's talk saves. As we saw previously, Japanese can be pretty good on this map. Although Jasouki was a little bit late to the dock, so he didn't really show off the true power of the Japanese. But they can be very good because of the faster working ships, fishing ships, sorry. The lumber camp, which costs less wood. They are one of the best hybrid saves in the game. They're up there with Persians, Huns, Lithuanians. Byzantines, on the other hand, they do not have a crazy eco, right, when compared to the Japanese. What they do have is more HP on their docks and faster attacking fire ships. So on a map like this, when you are 100% going to fires, that's going to be very useful. And after that, I mean, Byzantines, they do have cheaper trash units. No cheaper spearmen, skirmishers, and camels. So as you transition off water, you do have an easier time to be making making units if you're going for that kind of unit. Of course, you're going to be missing bloodlines, so you cannot really go into knights. I mean, you could play knights with Byzantines, but it's not amazing. And they do have a cheaper Imperial Age cost, so if you can get a nice map control and a decent eco behind, you can actually get some pretty nice Imperial Age timings despite not having any eco bonus to speak of. Although some might argue that having cheaper units is kind of an eco bonus. Also, you get Town Watch and Town Patrol for free, which I guess counts as an eco bonus. Early Loom by Flymouse. I don't know if he was housed, but I see he didn't wall, so maybe he just figured, okay, let's get Loom and keep our scouts at home, and we do not have to worry too much about the Vil. Jasouki did something similar. He got Loom as well, and he sent 2 Vils in the previous game. Same as Otter here. Otter, no Loom, but 2 Vils against 1 Scout. Scout can be annoying though. He's going to attack from uphill, so he's going to deal more damage. Yeah, I think 2 Vils works out here. Because here's the thing, if you go with a single Vil, then you open yourself to the other player just going for Loom and coming to kill your Vil with the Scout and the Villager, right? Even if you wall, right? You might get your Vil walled in. Actually, yeah, I should probably be doing that myself. Kind of like you do on Nomad. Oh, Otter with the quick walls, but I think he's going to lose the Villager. Yeah. Flymouse should lose the Villager himself here. He's attacking the... Oh, loses the Scout. Okay, he'll lose the Villager. So actually, Otter gets the better trade here. 1 Villager for a Villager and a Scout. Yeah, he'll take that any time of the... any day. Also, Otter, he's going to be 40 seconds faster to fuel age. Second dock coming up. We do have Militia from Flymouse, so maybe that's the reason why he was a little bit later. He was going for a dock into Militia. Kind of build. And... I mean, he doesn't have too many Vils on gold. If he wants to get Man-at-Arms and then make fires, he's going to need more Villagers. Otter not making his second fire galley. Okay, there it is. Yeah, he is walled, so those militias should not be able to find any damage. They're going to be Man-at-Arms, so they could be annoying. Again, with these new trees, you don't really know if you're walled or not. I think that's... yeah, I think that's open, and that's why the militia are going that way. Yeah, it's open. I hate these new trees. Especially on Nomad. You always get them on Nomad. I'm going to shut up about that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, they're going to get through. And these are Japanese Man-at-Arms, so you cannot fight them with Vils. They will shred your Vils. 1 Vil goes down. Second Vil. Third one might go down. The Man-at-Arms stacked. Yeah, but that one is weak, so Otter needs to pull this from the mining camp. Otherwise, the Man-at-Arm might be coming back for more. And this one might go unnoticed. No, no, no. Okay, no. He goes down to the TC. And for once, TC has hit something. Okay, on the water, Otter, though, is winning. We have a demo from Flymouse, though. So, from this one. So, Otter needs to be careful. Also, Otter is Byzantines, not Japanese. So, if the demo... yeah, I would take the demo and go for the middle fishing ship. Or maybe this one. Yeah, this one. Just sink this one. Yeah, too late. He would have also damaged the fire. Otter notices that and just pulls his fishing ships. and rearranges them. That's smart. And that man okay, that man at arm is still in the back. Wait, that's a new one. Yeah, that's a new one, because he lost one to the villagers here. He lost one to the TC. And the third one was weak, so... yeah. He has two. Where's the other one? Oh, there it... oh no, so he made 2 extra, okay. Okay, so he made 5 in total. Might be able to get through... no, 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 there's a house coming up. You know what's funny? They changed the attack animation to match the attack speed. So now if you look at the infantry, they seem... okay. I'm missing... I can keep missing demos today. Do I? Yeah. Not an amazing demo, but they did weaken the fires. Anyway. Back to my point, they changed the attack animation speed to match the attack speed itself. So now if you look at infantry, the infantry and scouts, to be honest, they seem to be attacking fairly slow compared to the past, right? But then Japanese, because they attack faster, their animation is not that far away from what it used to be before they changed it. Flying Mouse trying to use the dock as a shield, but didn't work against this one. And yeah, Otter. Yeah, he's going to keep water control. Also, he still has his 3 fishing ships. So even if he doesn't win it straight away, but keeps on fighting and keeps his opponent's ships over here, he's fine, because he killed the fishing ships from Flying Mouse. But Flying Mouse still hasn't killed the fishing ships from Otter. Yeah, Japanese men-at-arms are amazing. Look at that house going down that fast, even without arson. Okay, now we have archers from both players. No fletching. I would have probably liked to see skirmishers from Flying Mouse to support the men-at-arms. But again, the Byzantines can just go for skirms themselves. Otter, he's going to be able to click up to castle as soon as the market goes up. Didn't need to use it at all to go up, which is nice, because now he's going to have the stone to drop extra TCs if he wants to. He has 1 bill on stone, so either he's thinking about that, or he... okay, no, it's just a random bill. Never mind. Double range. And now he can just add... yeah, he's going to add fishing ships, which are going to be oystering ships, I guess. Oh, you made an outpost instead of a mill? But you still have... oh no, sorry, I was looking at just that's Flying Mouse's res. So Flying Mouse is the one on stone, okay.
Yes.
Okay, Otter... okay, yeah, he's making fire, so he should not lose too much. Maybe he'll lose this one. This is not weak, so Might be able to take down another fishing ship before the fires from Otter come out. Say it. No. Okay, we have Castle Age from Otter. Flymouse is still kind of keeping up the pressure with the archers and the men at arms, but yeah, Otter is going to have crossbow. Will not have Botkin anytime soon because of the oh, okay, never mind. Botkin was behind that. Okay. Ooh, Flying Mouse opted for a tower, but the Otter can just run underneath it. We'll lose this crossbow, but this one is going to be safe. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Watch out though. We have archers in from Flying Mouse, and they might do some damage on this woodland. There are a lot of weak bills. So 2 bills down. Might be a third. Ooh, we didn't notice this. So Flying Mouse will still lose the archers. Actually, no. Ooh. Okay, that was good damage from Flying Mouse, and he should be. Sorry. Yeah, I was about to say he should be quite safe, but he didn't wall the tower, so yeah, it's just going to get taken down by the knight. And Flying Mouse is just now going up to Castle Age. He does have a nice tower setup. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to drop another one on the gold. So he's going to need to maybe wall this in the meantime and then get a TC on this one. Yeah, that knight could jump on the gold. Yeah, he will. And unfortunately for him, the map generation was not too kind to Flying Mouse, because okay, this gold was quite wallable, but then you have this one and stone forward. You have a gold here, one here, which are quite far away from your TC. You can probably drop a TC on this one. Does he have a market? No. Yeah, he does. So potentially he could just drop a couple of... yeah, I was about to say, you drop a couple of monasteries and you convert the knights. But then you'll have to deal with crossbows as well. That TC might get denied if Otter sees that. Well, he sees that, I mean, if he notices that, and he does. Okay, CA. It's Japanese CA, so he's going to be dealing extra damage to the crossbows, which is nice. Crossbow numbers, they're quite high, but they're all separated from each other, so... Okay, the TC will eventually go up. The issue is, it's going to secure the stone. Garrison. It will secure the stone, but not really the gold, right? So Flying Mouse will need another TC over here. And Otter knows that, and he's just camping that gold with the knight. Knight might go down to the spear, yeah. But behind this, Otter just dropping TCs. Yeah, there's another TC from Flying Mouse to try to secure the gold, but... Don't think it's going to work. Flying Mouse could just sell this stone for the time being. Yeah, he does that to get the gold. And he needs numbers. Either numbers or just drop a Siege Workshop, right? Siege Workshop, make a single Scorpion to scare the crossbows away. And then you drop the TC with the opening you make with that. Otter just oystering away, making a monk, probably just to get the relics. There's really no unit from Flying Mouse at the moment which Otter would use monks against. Okay, I like this tower. I'm personally a big fan of making towers underneath your TCs just to increase the range of protection. I just don't think it's going to go up. And there's the siege from Otter. He could easily go for rams here. I think he's going to opt for mangonels. But I would like to see... Yeah, there's mangonel. I would have liked to see the ram from him. Although there's a siege workshop coming up from Flying Mouse, so yeah. There's going to be mangonels from Flying Mouse as well. Using the monk, just heating up with the faster healing. And the issue for Flying Mouse at the moment is that his eco, a good chunk of his eco is idle. He's got 8 idols out of 40 bills. That's 20%. Now we're going to have mangonels. The problem is there's knights from Otter on the field, and there aren't that many bills in this TC, so a mangonel here could either get sniped by the mangonels, or oh, actually he gets those, nice. But yeah, this knight from Otter could easily snipe the mangonel from Flying Mouse because there aren't enough CA to protect that. No second armor from Otter, neither the first attack. And again, Byzantines get no bloodlines. So it's not going to be as easy to snipe that mangonel, but yeah. Ooh, finally Flying Mouse manages to get the TC up on this position. Too bad he lost a TC here. And he doesn't really have an answer to these mangonels now. Okay, yeah. And Otter thinks, okay, I've got a good number of mangonels to take care of his CA and mangonels. Let's go for rams now and push. Otter, 13 on stone. We might see a forward castle. Forward castle right here would be amazing. And he might be able to get it up, right? He just needs to snipe this mangonel. Keep an eye here on the siege workshop from your opponent. You drop a castle here. It should go up. Oh, nice. Nice shot from Flying Mouse. Okay, yeah, that's a safer way. Sorry, safer position. And now Otter could honestly just idle. You idle your TCs, you idle your military production, and by the time the castle goes up, you are able to click up to Imperial. He could easily do that. But Flying Mouse calls the GG, so... Oh, sorry. So Otter takes the first game. Well played to him. I really liked the sneak units from Flying Mouse. When those archers got in, that was a good chunk of damage. It's too bad he didn't notice the couple of villagers which were weak, otherwise he could have gotten, I think, another 2 kills. Minotaur Plague was nice. It's... Yeah, and despite going for the Minotaur play, which delayed the Feudal Age timing, he still managed to do some damage on water, right? He fought it. And at one point he ended up having more fires than Otter did, but again, you're against Byzantine fires, so that's always going to be hard. But yeah, overall, very nice game. Well played to both. Let's take a look at statistics. Yeah, more res for Otter. More vills, but that's also because he was idling most of Flying Mouse's eco for a long time, so Flying Mouse didn't really have the eco to make more vills. And didn't have the map control to drop extra TCs. Okay, one last thing, then we move on to the next game. I also like how Otter added more fishing ships later on, just to get the gold and eventually the shorefish. That's something a lot of people don't do, right? They fight for water, they win water, and then they ignore water. So at the end of the day, what did you fight for? But no, he knew, okay, there's extra gold. I think that's what? I think oysters have half the gold of a mining spot, so I think it's 400. Let's check real quick. 450. Right, so this is 2700 extra gold that you can get just from fishing ships. So yeah, that's good thinking. I think many people would just fight water and then ignore it and just keep on working with the 3 fishing ships they have. Relics? No, Otter was getting them. I think he was just too focused on the push to micro the monks to get the relics. Anyway, let me load up game 2, which is going to be on modes. Okay, here we are. Oh, let me... Okay, so modes. As I mentioned earlier, it is kind of like Arena, but you do not have wood in your base. I mean, you have some, but it's not too much. One of your boars is inside the walls, and the other one is on the outside. Whereas your pigs, you have your starting fours, well, pigs, sheep, whatever. Your starting 4 are inside the walls, and the others are on the outside. As you can see, you also have chickens on one of the bridges, and you also have some deer, but I mean, pushing those is not going to be easy unless you're used to it. There are gators around the moat. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You have extra resources on the outside, so some gold, some stones. You actually have extra boars, but they're quite far away, so I don't think we're going to be seeing that many people just go for the extra boars, unless they have something like Mongols, so they really want to leaning to their bonuses. One thing I would like to see is how many times we're going to be seeing laming, right? Because you have some, you know, your opponent has sheep on the outside and one boar on the outside. Now the problem is you do not know where that boar is going to spawn, on which of the 4 bridges. And sheep, sure, you go for the sheep, but then you leave your own exposed, so you might get lamed yourself, so it's interesting. Now, speaking of civs, we have Bohemians from Otter, as expected, and we have Cumans from Flying Mouse. So we'll see if Flying Mouse goes for the Cuman Boom with double TC, or if he opts for some other kind of play. I mean, he could very easily go for a Siege Workshop and kept Rams. But we'll see. I think we're going to be seeing the second TC. And depending on the map generation, if you drop the second TC on in the back of your base, you might have an easy time to wall, right? Because you could easily wall this way. Who's that? Thank you for the follow. Superhero. Oh, thank you, Superhero. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, you could also wall this, right? As humans, you do have stronger palisades, so it should be quite feasible to do it. Then again, it's still palisades, so we'll see. I think with any other save, you probably just stonewall and you get this nice area. And it's stonewalls, right? So you do not have to worry too much about them being taken down. Unless you know your opponent is going for unique units, so you know they have a castle and thus can make petards. Or if they go for a siege tower, which you cannot do on these ones because you have the seawall on the front. I was actually looking at this, and I don't know, because if you can walk here with a Vil, you can actually put a siege tower here. And I think you can walk there. And I was looking at this, and you do have that for every single gate. Right? Behind that. And this one. So if that square is walkable, you can probably go for a siege tower. But again, I don't think we'll be seeing that much from players. Okay, Flying Mouse going for Loom, which is not something you normally see with a human double TC boom on Arena. But here, if he wants to drop a TC on the outside, as I think he will, then it makes sense, right? Also, neither player going for the chickens. Oh, never mind, Otter did. He also found a nice spot with the shortfish. So that's another extra 200 food, which is going to be coming in quite quickly. And he is going up to fill himself. Now, this doesn't seem like a fast castle build, right? So maybe he's thinking, okay, my opponent is going to try the 2TC boom with humans. Let's go aggressive in feudal. But actually, we do not have a second TC boom, I think. We have a barracks. This might be Rams. Yeah, I think Flying Mouse is going for Rams with the militia. Okay. This is interesting. Is Otter going to be spotting that? I don't think he will, because I think he's going to be looking at the back of his opponent's base. Because he has scouted, so he might be thinking, okay, the TC is going to be going up either here or here. Those seem to be the two more likely spots. So he's just going to be roaming in this area with the scout. We do have militia. Okay, archery range, so it's not going to be rams. Okay, so it's not going to be rams, it's going to be standard feudal play from the humans. I mean, you have cheaper archery ranges, right? So why not? And eventually, if you once you get the blacksmith, you can just add the... Ooh, one build down from Otter. I think he's missing loom. No, he's not. Okay. Yeah, archers with rams makes sense, right? So the attack comes a little bit later than it would be if you go straight for rams, but at the same time, it feels a little more natural. Because you want the blacksmith for the archers, you have the archers to keep annoying your opponent, and then you go for the ram push. And Otter is farming out here. These units are just going to be coming forward. Otter should... Yeah, he knows. So walls should be coming up here. And Otter, okay, he doesn't know about the archer range, so he might be thinking, okay, this is going to be man at arms into the second TC. And he's still looking around here. What's that? Oh, so there is a second TC. Oh, okay, this is interesting. So, one thing you sometimes see Kuman do on closed maps like this is, instead of going straight into the second TC, which leaves them kind of vulnerable and it's kind of a passive play, you sometimes see people go for a tower rush into a second TC. But in this case, Flymouse seems to have opted for an archer push into the second TC. So what this does is it gives him map control and takes the pressure off himself and gives him more time to be booming. Now that said, it's a second TC from humans in Feudal Age built by two villagers. So we're going to look away. We'll look back in an hour and this will still not be up. Yeah, Otter is just going to be stonewalling this. So luckily for him, on this map you do have gold and stone in the inside of your base. So he's not going to be out of those. He might get pushed off by the archers from this wood line, which is going to be annoying, but that said, he's up to castle. He's up to castle, and honestly, I know you're Bohemians, so it's probably not the best choice, but make a couple of knights and clean this up, and then you can go raid your opponent's eco. Right? Yeah, Flymouse was a little bit late in attacking in the back. I mean, this was late, and the moment he saw the stone walls coming up, he should have just sent his other units this way. But as I said, he's going to deny this wood line. Otter will have to go for this one. And Otter... I mean, he's not on stone. So this is not going to be side wagons. He doesn't have a barracks yet, so this is not going to be knights. Nor archers, for the time being. Is it going to be... Okay, he has a blacksmith, because that was his second building for Castle Age. So is it going to be siege monks from Otter in this situation? Okay, second TC finally went up. And he clicks Castle Age as soon as the TC goes up. So now he should be able to keep up build production while going up to castle. The issue is he has 0 on food. And these 2 vills from Otter. Barracks. Ah, okay, yeah. He has done this to me before as well. Just the sneaky barracks with the siege workshop, and probably he'll add the monks as well. And it's going to be pike siege from the side. Meanwhile, a single siege workshop at home to keep these units off his back. Fly mouse, though, the pressure is going to be coming from this side. But he's walled. He's going up to castle. He's ahead in vills. He does already have a barracks and an archery range. He could drop a stable here. Or maybe a siege workshop and defend with his own siege. I was about to say you could go light cav in this situation, but you're against Bohemian Spearmen, so they deal extra bonus damage. So I think Bohemian Spearmen might be able to deal with the light cav, even without the pikeman upgrade. But Flymouse, he made a stable here, so he's keeping on the pressure. That said, he doesn't know about this. So we'll see. No, I mean, the villagers passed by the barracks. So if he was looking in at this area or at the minimap, he should have known there were a couple of villagers on the run. But he doesn't know about the buildings. And now he's going to see that the moment Otter attacks. But I think, yeah, Otter is not going to be attacking the walls, he's going around. I don't think Otter knows about the market. Yeah, he doesn't know about the walls. He'll now see the market. Flymouse will now see his opponent. Did he get downwards? Yeah, he did. Oh, there's a hole, of course. Yikes. Siege workshop from Flymouse. That's fine. He knows about this second TC going up for Otter. And he's pushing here with the siege. Another monastery from Otter, 4-1. Makes sense, the monks are pretty slow moving. No redemption yet, no. Ooh, that gate almost went down. Yeah, and in all of at the end of the day, Flymouse was going pretty all in. He is ahead in vills, but not by that much. Rest collected, 700 ahead. He does, I mean, military-wise, he is behind, and I mean, 7 of those 12 units, it's just archers, which are not going to be able to do much against the Mangonels. If... Ooh, redemption coming in as well. If Flying Mouse can micro those... Ooh, nice. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So, if Flying Mouse can micro those archers properly, he can probably snipe the monks. Especially now that the Scorpion is down. Yeah, just go for the monks with the archers. Might be able to deny the Siege Workshop. Yes, he will. No, he won't. Because the archers went for the monk. Takes down the Mangonel. Mangonel coming out from Otter here. Flying Mouse knows there's a Vil here, so he's going to try and get that. But with this, Otter's pressure is kind of slowed down. I wouldn't say it's not dead, because you still have a Mangonel coming out from this. But at the very least, he took care of the Vils. He took care of the monks. Nice. He's going to kill the Scorpion with the Ram. The Ram might be able to kill the Mangonel as well once it comes out. Flying Mouse is somewhat keeping the pressure here. So overall, nice position. Do not lose the Mango. Do not lose the Ram to the Mangonel. Yeah, he's not watching. He will lose the Ram to the Monk. That was a fast conversion. Holy. I think Flying Mouse needs... So the monk numbers are not that scary at the moment. What Flying Mouse needs is a couple of stables here. You get to, I don't know, 5 Lancers and you just snipe everything. You would also need redemption, not redemption, what's it called? Devotion. Just to be sure you do not get converted. So the issue now is that, yes, Flying Mouse, he is ahead in Vils, but he's not managing his eco, right? So sure, you have 10 more Vils, but you have 30 on gold and 10 on food. Whereas Otter, yes, he's behind in Vils, but as you can see, his eco is better spread out, and he's on stone. So if he wanted to, he could come forward and drop a castle right here, because Flying Mouse has nothing at home. All of his units are forward, and yeah, there's the castle. Oh no, never mind. It's an outpost. Okay, no, they're coming forward. Yeah, they're making a house there. You just make that to send the Vils, and yeah, you drop a castle here. Flying Mouse is going for Rams here, which are going out one by one. He took down the Siege Workshop, which is nice. Okay. There's the castle. Flying Mouse will see that coming up. What you do is you take the Ram, you send it to the castle, and you load Vils into the Ram. Just do it. Go. Or you fight the Vils with the villagers. Yes, that too. Let's go, Flying Mouse. Let's go, Vil fighting. Yes. You need to spread out your Vils. Spread out your Vils. You do not send all of them towards a single one. Yes. Yes. Okay, this is doable. Let's go. It's a little annoying, but you need to take one Vil and send... You need to have one Vil on each one of your opponent's Vils. Okay, you're underneath the castle. You can repair the Ram. Okay, send the Vils inside the TC and reposition your Rams so that they're here. Yeah, no, the castle stays up. Castle stays up, yeah. That's a shame. For a moment there, he had a chance to deny that. And I think with this castle, Otter just took back the game. Even getting murder holes, so yeah. Get in the ram with the fills. Yeah, Otter now... Yeah, now that he has murder holes in, Veils will start dying, right? 18 Veils will go down for Flying Mouse, and with that, Otter will take the eco lead. And now Otter is kind of untouched at home. I mean, yeah, there's this single CA being annoying, but all of the pressure is on Flying Mouse, who is getting douched in Castle Age. Okay. Yeah, and now there's Hustled Bangles out. I mean, that said, Flying Mouse, he's going to lose this position, but honestly, you still have this area of the map to move to, if you want to. He does have a lot of gold, so he could just buy some wood, which he's doing, drop TCs here, maybe drop stables, develop your farming eco. He got Light Cav, so maybe he can kind of play this one out with Light Cav and Step Lancers. That said, you're against Bohemians, who have a castle on your face. They're sitting on 80 vills. I mean, Otter could easily just stop vill production here and go to Imperial if he wanted to. He's dropping extra TCs, so I don't think he's going to do that. Otter, that's not true. In one game in... Well, first of all, in the space-themed season, I douched you. In Castle Age, just like you did now. On Saturn. And then, against Leonovo, on that same map, I dropped... I think it was 5 TCs in his base. So no. You haven't douched more than me in the past 5 seasons. No, of course it exists. Yeah, but this is what I meant. Just drop TCs towards the middle. We do need more farms from Flying Mouse, though. No, it is a contest. It is a contest to see who's the biggest douche between me and Otter. But yeah, Otter is sitting on 90 vills. I think as Bohemians now, you do idle TCs and just go up. I mean, at the end of the day, you have... Oh, that TC went down, actually. You have 3 TCs, right? So you idle for a bit, you click Imp, and then you restart producing builds. Maybe drop a couple of TCs on the way up, and you just catch up in eco. So Flying Mouse heavily on stone. What would be funny is if he used that stone to drop TCs on his opponent's face. So let's say you have 200 stone, you have enough wood, you drop a TC here, and you double douche your opponent. And then you go and do the same stuff here. Although I think, yeah, no, you just buy a castle and you drop it here. That would be an amazing position. Although you're most likely going to be later to Imperial later than your opponent. that Lycav will go down to the Spearman. Yes. Monk might convert it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You convert that 1 HP Spearman. Let's go. Ooh, careful. Careful, Flame Mouse. Yeah, that's the castle from Otter. So Flame Mouse will have to flee from this position. Now, sure, Flame Mouse is expanding to this area, but Otter still has these buildings. So if you wanted to, could be cheeky and just start making units from this. And we have Imperial from Otter. Flame Mouse quite far away from Imp. And once we get to Imperial Age, between Bohemians and Cumans, I mean, Bohemians do have the better Imperial Age, right? So... another castle here from Otter, who is not going to allow his opponent to hunt that here. Oh, Flamehouse not far away from Imperial himself, right? If he sells the resources, he might be able to click up. Does Otter have a university? Yes, he does, because he got Murder Hose earlier on. Will he remember to get chemistry on the way up? As Bohemians. Pikemen, Arson. Yeah, this is going to be a Halberdier siege push from Otter. We have Imperial from Flymouse. Okay, not in this CC. Is it this one? Oh, it's in this one. I didn't even know he had this one. Okay. So he should be able to get to him. The issue is 6 on foot. Now this CA are going to be able to get here in the back. They might be able to find some kills on that gold. But that's it. And honestly, Otter still has access to this gold. He could get access to this gold. So it's not the end of the world for him. And he's still sitting on 700 at home. I mean, 700 in bank. Another castle here from Otter. Converting houses. Now this castle is on the hill, so if Flying Mouse repairs, he should be able to keep it up, but he doesn't really have that much stone. And yeah, he no longer has stone access in his base. He has stone access here, but he's not really putting too many bills on that. Now getting bloodlines, but... he might be calling it any moment now. I mean, 6 traps on the field for Otter. Makes sense with the amount of castles he has. He doesn't have the half upgrade, but I mean, again, it's Bohemian Pikes, so they do deal bonus damage, extra bonus damage, sorry. And I mean, Flymouse doesn't really have an army on the field at the moment. Yep. And Flying Mouse calls the GG. So Otter takes the set 2-0. That was a fun game. I think Flying Mouse had a very good chance when he went for that forward pressure. Not noticing this, having that hole, and not fighting properly the villagers when they were trying to get the castle up was a mistake. They were all mistakes that cost him the game. I would also argue when he had the archers here, right, and he just went... Yeah, he went for the vills instead of going straight for the monks. I think in that situation, you take down the monks, and then you go for the vills. And I think if he does that, then he's in a way better position. But yeah, I like the Tiny Mouse approach on this map. Again, I like going for a pressure and dropping the second TC behind that. He didn't really manage his eco too well behind that. I mean, he clicked to castle and had 0 on food, which is not ideal. So maybe if he polishes this, I think he has a good strat on his end. I mean, Otter, the feudal archers caught you off guard, but that's literally the same thing I did against you on this map, so... You should have been used to that. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you, Admiral Zhao. Welcome. But yeah, overall I think the strat from Flying Mouse was solid. Otter just defended very well. Again, that sneaky monastery and Siege Workshop really worked out for him. Honestly, even if there is no hole here, as humans you do not have stone walls, so it doesn't take that long for Otter to break through the market and get inside. I mean, if he has to attack the market, that buys maybe 1 minute to Flying Mouse, which would make a difference. But yeah, it would still be a little bit hard to take care of that. Anyway, let's take a look at statistics. Military-wise, yeah, neither player got to very high numbers. Economy-wise, Otter was ahead. At times, yeah. Okay. Okay, that was a fun set. Utek, you're going to be casting my set against Raven. Okay. Yeah, that was a good one. I don't think I've ever had a bad set against Raven in the league, and I'm very happy that he's back. Okay, yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you to everyone who joined. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I'll be back next week for some more casting. We still do not have that many games in, and next week I think people are going to be starting posting their second round games, so we might get a bit more variety with the maps. And yeah, thank you everyone. I'll be seeing you next time. Bye bye.